Have you ever had a huge harvest all at once, way more than you could actually use, and then nothing for weeks? Maybe all your lettuce bolted before you could eat it, or your zucchini exploded overnight and you were giving it away to neighbors. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But the good news is that there's a really simple solution, and it's called succession planting. And today I'm breaking it all down so you can start getting steady, manageable harvests all season long. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Audrey Crawford, a lifelong gardener from the Central Valley of California, and this is the Audrey's Little Farm Show, where I take the guesswork out of gardening and help you grow a successful garden one simple step at a time. So first off, what is succession planting? Succession planting is the practice of planting smaller batches of a crop at staggered intervals, instead of planting everything all at once. So rather than planting one large crop and harvesting it all at the same time, you plant much smaller amounts every 1 to 4 weeks. That way your harvest is spread out and much more manageable. Let's take carrots, for example. Rather than planting 100 seeds on the same day, you might plant 10 to 20 every couple of weeks. This way you're not overwhelmed with 100 carrots all needing to be picked at once. You're harvesting fresh ones steadily over time. This method is not only great for avoiding overwhelm, it also helps reduce waste, improve your use of space in the garden, and lets you get more out of your garden overall. And so now let's plan out how to plan your succession crops. So succession planting isn't complicated, although it can start to feel that way. And so a little planning beforehand goes a long way. And before we even get into talking about any of this, I just want to give a shout out to my favorite garden planning software, which is SeedTime. And one of my favorite features of SeedTime is that they have easily integrated succession planting into their model. So say you add carrots to your planting calendar, you can just click a button that says add succession and it will automatically add it at the recommended interval. And if you start getting into a season when it's not ideal to plant that crop, it will give you a little warning that says the weather is either going to be too cold or too warm and you shouldn't add another succession this time of year. So I just want to shout them out because it is the tool that I personally use to plan my successions in the garden. And so I have a link for them in the description below that you can check out. But now we will talk through just some overall general information you need to know on planning your successions. So the very first thing that you need to know and think about is whether or not the crop is a short, half, or long season crop. Meaning this, so short season crops are ready to harvest in about 30 to 60 days. Think of things like arugula, baby mixed lettuce, radishes, and turnips. Then there's half season crops that take about 50 to 80 days to mature. Some common ones include carrots, broccoli, beans, beets, cucumbers, kale, squash, and peas. And then we have long season crops that take 70 to 120 plus days to harvest. These include things like melons, onions, sweet potatoes, pumpkins, and winter squash. So shorter season crops are perfect for succession planting because they mature so quickly and then they leave space for another crop later. And so when we're thinking about succession planting, the best ones to focus on really are the shorter season crops because they mature so quickly and it allows you to get multiple harvests from that same crop spaced out over a pretty short window of time. The next question to ask yourself is how much garden space do you have? If you're limited on space, you should focus on compact crops like lettuce, radishes, carrots, and beets. You can also follow a method where you pull one crop out once it's harvested and then replant that same area with something else. For instance, you could grow a row of radishes and then follow up with bush beans or summer squash in the same bed. The third question to ask yourself is whether or not it is a cool season crop or a warm season crop. And this is a big one because not all crops can grow well all year. So certain crops thrive in cooler weather like spinach, lettuce, cabbage, and broccoli, while others love the heat like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and squash. And so while you can succession plant with nearly everything, you'll need to pause certain crops when the season shifts. For example, you can succession plant with carrots in fall and spring, but then as it starts warming up and the summer approaches, they likely won't do well, so you can't continue succession planting through the summer. And now, how to actually do it. So I mentioned SeedTime earlier. I definitely recommend checking them out. You can create a free account, use all the succession planting tools in their planting calendar, but I want to give you a good sense of how to actually do this. So once you have a good sense of the crop and the season that you're in, here's how to put it into action. So with your short and half season crops, you should plan to plant these every 1 to 4 weeks, being that the weather is ideal and that there's enough days left in the season for that crop to still be growing in the ideal weather. With long season crops, these can be succession planted too, but you'll want to plant your successions closer together and early enough that each planting has enough time to mature before the season ends. So let's walk through a few examples. With carrots, carrots, you could plant 10 to 20 seeds each week for a month in early spring, and then you could do the same in late summer for a fall harvest. With cucumbers and zucchini, you could plant 1 to 2 plants every 2 to 3 weeks starting in spring, going all the way into midsummer. All you have to do is just count ahead and make sure there's enough days left in the season for that crop to mature. And as a quick refresher, the warm weather crops grow best when temperatures are 70 degrees and above during the day, and when nighttime temperatures are 50 degrees and above at night. And then vice versa, cool weather crops grow best with daytime temperatures below 70, and they can have lows basically to freezing. Many of them do just fine with nighttime lows in the 30s and 40s. Some can even tolerate light frost or even a mid to heavy frost such as kale. But you just have to make sure there's enough days with that ideal weather for those crops to continue maturing. And then when it comes to something like a winter squash, you could try planting 2 rounds a few weeks apart in spring or early summer depending on where you live, and you'll get staggered harvests in the fall. The key is to match each crop with the right time and space, then spread out your plantings for continuous harvests. Next thing is matching your harvest to your needs. So another thing to consider is how much you really need. If you're mostly growing for your family's fresh eating, smaller plantings spaced out will keep things manageable and fresh. But if you're planning to preserve your harvest, maybe canning tomatoes or freezing green beans, then you're going to want to plant a larger batch all at once. Also think about the shelf life. So some crops like arugula or baby mixed lettuce will wilt pretty quickly and they need to be eaten fresh. There's not a great way to preserve those kind of crops. And so those should be succession planted weekly. But then for other things like carrots and summer squash that last a little bit longer, you can space those plantings out every 2 to 3 weeks. And so here are a few final tips for success. And so the first thing is to keep a planting plan. It doesn't have to be fancy. You could just jot down what you planted and when, so then you can repeat what works next year. You should also take notes. I like to keep track of things like when I harvested and how much I got from each plant. And over time, you're going to start to see patterns. You're going to see which plants gave you the best yields, which ones bolted too soon and when. And then I also like to write down where everything went. So it's important to use your garden space wisely. If you're tight on garden space, it's great to grow fast crops like lettuce and radishes first, and then replant in that same bed with something that takes a little bit longer to grow, such as peppers or squash. And just a reminder, don't feel like you have to try every new strategy at once. I usually only test out one new thing each season so that I can really pay attention to how it works. So whether I'm trying out a new variety or some new technique I learned, whatever it might be, I try to just stick to a couple things per season so that I don't overwhelm myself. And so if you're a new gardener, I encourage you to try new things, but don't try too much at once. Better to not get overwhelmed. It's better to just master a few skills and do them really well before trying all the things out there. And so as we wrap up, I just want you to know that succession planting is truly one of the easiest ways to extend your harvest, grow smarter, not harder, and to make the absolute most of your space and time. And if you're looking for the best way to map it all out, I really recommend Seed Time. It is truly the best gardening planner and tool that I have personally used. I use it every single season to plan out exactly what I'm planting and when. It makes succession planting so easy because you can visually see your planting calendar and drag and drop things, click a button, and it will automatically add the successions for you. So whether you're growing just one raised bed or a whole backyard garden, Seed Time will help you stay organized, get more from your garden, and actually enjoy the process instead of feeling stressed out about what to do next or when to plant what. So I'm going to include that link in the description below. Be sure to take a look, try it out, start your free account. Thank you so much for taking this time to learn with me today, and until next time, happy gardening.